Nicki Minaj and Kenny Petty's close friend just released a bombshell, showing a letter that Jennifer Huff signed to retract her R-word accusation. But here's the twist. This is the same letter that reveals a shocking detail that could prove that Kenneth did R-word her. So trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this video as I expose all the contradictions and the real story behind this document. While you guys are here, make sure to hit the subscribe button with notifications so you can get updated every time I upload a new video. Shout out to you guys, thank you for all the love, by the way. Okay, so this guy seems to be really close to Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. I believe he's like from Kenneth Petty's side, I guess, a good friend. His name is King T Me, or King Ty Me, or King Time, I'm sorry. And he ended up posting this on Instagram after the interrogation video of Kenneth Petty was released. And he showed a letter that Jennifer signed and it was notarized. This is what it said. To whom it may concern, I, Jennifer Huff, would like to drop charges against Kenneth Petty. On the day that I said I was R-word, it is half true and half false. The marks on my neck was not from me being choked. They were hickeys that I got the day before from someone else. I've been knowing Kenneth for many years. We grew up together. We went to the same daycare center.
Ever since preschool daycare center.
We liked each other for a long time. I used to go out with him. Which is really interesting because Jennifer Huff has tried to make it very clear that she only knew Kenneth from the neighborhood.
And claimed that the two of you were in a relationship. Is any of that true?
No, we were never in a relationship, ever. We never had no type of romantic anything. We never talked on the phone. We never hung out together. I just knew him from the neighborhood.
The day that this incident happened, I was at the bus stop on the way to school. Kenny came up and asked me where I was going. I told him I was going to school, but he told me he had something very important to talk to me about privately with him, which is really interesting because we know in the interrogation, Kenneth has made out that he didn't go at home with her that day.
So we talking, you know, and she was just sitting there. So after that, I just left and I went back to my house. So
when we got there, we started talking and then we started making out. After that, we got into an argument, then a fight. We started hitting one another. I told him I wanted to leave, but he wouldn't let me because he said I was too upset. He asked to make love with me again. I said no. So we started arguing again. Then he told me if I would have S-word with him, I could leave. So I did because I was already late for school and I just wanted to leave. So this is basically considered R-word or SA in many legal systems across the world and in the USA, right? Because she was basically coerced into having S-word under the threat of harm, confinement, or any form of manipulation where they feel they have no real choice. It is not consensual. So it is not consensual. He's like, I will only let you leave if you do this with me, okay? So let me spell this out to anyone that thinks that this is an R-word, especially the king, okay? King Timey. If we were in the same room and I said, I'll let you leave this room if you let me f you in the ass, you know, and we just got into this huge argument, I'm not letting you leave. I'm like, nah, only if you let me f you in the ass. What does that mean? And you don't see other choice because I'm bigger than you, stronger than you, for whatever reason, you don't see other choice, you end up doing it with me. What does that mean? That means I SA'd you, that means I R-word you, okay? So I don't know why you think this isn't the case or anyone else thinks this is not the case. I was so angry when I left his house that before I left, I picked up a water bottle and threw it at him. He started running after me. I fell down the stairs. When he tried to help me get up, I told him I will start screaming. Then he told me to get the F out of his house and started calling me names. When I got to school, I told my friend what happened and she told me to go to the office and tell them that I was R-word because she was. Because even if I had S with him the first time, I didn't want to have S with him the second time. Saying that, next thing I knew, the cops was there. Everybody was making a big deal about everything. I am really sorry about everything. I hope Kenneth and his family will forgive me for all the trouble I caused him and his family. Maybe we could put this all behind us and continue the friendship we once had. Kenneth have always been a friend to me in the past. He had never disrespected me in any way. I think out of feelings just got out of hand on that day. The more I think about it, Kenny may be guilty for telling me that I couldn't go home until we have S word and make up. But he's not a R word. Bro, bye. Many times I was at his house and he never took advantage of me. But again, on the day our emotions got out of hand. Sincerely, Jennifer Huff. I'm not gonna call you king. I feel like I'm disrespecting myself by calling you a king. Mr. Time said, I'm tired of the slander of my brother's name. I'm tired of the false accusations pushed by cowards, losers, and nobodies that just looking for clickbait and something to say. Oh my God. I'm tired of the bad justice system and how they handle our people. See, he's trying to appeal to emotion by making this a race thing. That's a very manipulative tactic. You're trying to say, oh, it's because of the people, it's because of that. But no, there was evidence. He also lied in the interrogation. He was trying to make out, oh no, Jennifer was never at my house, but then how was she able to describe what was in his room? Why would he lie about that, Mr. Time? Why would he lie about that? Answer that. I would love to interview you and ask you these tough questions, for real, because what you're saying is such not pick me minion. You're a minion. And he's your brother. You're saying he's your brother, so I get it. But you're making yourself look like a moron, and you're making the situation worse for him too. Let's just keep it real. Anyway, this notarized letter that she wrote is to exonerate and tell the truth about my brother not R-wording her. But yet she went on talk shows stating she never wrote no letter. Now this is true. Jennifer tried so hard to make out like this letter didn't exist. Roll the video. She actually said that she wrote the letter.
When you wrote the letter and gave it to the DA, what did they say?
I wrote the letter, I gave it to the DA, and then I showed up at court.
Oh.
And I stood up.
And then in an interview that Jennifer did, she tried to claim that there was no letter at all in confidence.
As far as the letter goes, there is no letter. I just told Black what he wanted to hear. I figured them with their money and their lawyers, if there really was a letter, then that would have been shown already. Transcripts have been shown. Him admitting to it had been shown.
This was done in 2022. But then in 2023, when the Beast ended up obtaining this letter, that's when she talks about actually signing a letter. There are two contradicting stories here, and it seems like she was actually trying to hide the fact that there was a letter that she wrote. Kenneth's friend also continues by saying, the things these hoes would do for money and attention is sickening, and the people that believe and support this foolery is even worse. Now I hope y'all share the truth just like y'all shared the lies. Prior to her lying on my brother, she just had a train rain on her by him and another friend. But I guess she forgot to mention that, just like how he forgot to mention that she did come to his house. Now y'all know the truth. Y'all going to stop playing with the family. Okay, well, I'm going to continue playing with the family with my videos, guys, and just calling out the contradictions here. Now, the train situation may be true, because you guys know I had exclusive, if you guys watch my documentary, I had exclusive Jennifer, she wrote to me, and she basically said that something happened prior to the R word, but that's going to come in court. I did message Jennifer so I can have a clear understanding of why she said this.
Kenny was upset that I never chose him.
And this was her response. He used to try to talk to me all the time, but I never liked him. Also, there is something that happened right before he violated me, but that's gonna come out in court.
I didn't want him and his friends to think that they can do that to me again.
And I think it's this. I honestly think it's this about her having a three-way or whatever with Kenneth and his friend. I have no idea why she wouldn't want anyone to see this letter, and I believe it's because she wouldn't want anyone to know that she was in a relationship with him in the past. I believe she wouldn't want anyone to know the real details behind it, which was she did sneak to his house to see him instead of going to school. I know, who lies over stupid stuff like that, but people with compulsive lying disorder, they do lie over stupid shit, because that's the only conclusion I have in my head. By the way, this is my theory. I'm not saying this is true. Don't get offended by my theory. But he still R-worded her. It says here, and maybe Jennifer half at the time didn't think that was our word.
Which somebody wrote it up for her to sign it. They tried to get an affidavit to sign it so he could come home.
Yo, she gotta sign a letter. We gonna get an affidavit for her to sign a letter and say, look, he ain't do this.
Now, Jennifer confirmed on the Daily Beast that she was forced to sign this letter.
He beat his chest and he said, I'm the man, I'm the man.
And that was the lie she told my grandmother.
I was one of the guys threatening Jennifer as a kid.
I was being threatened by the adults that was in my life to make this go away.
And Mr. Petty is remorseful.
To TMZ, Kenneth is a registered sex offender.
A lot of folks were kind of disturbed, like, why is Nicki Minaj throwing up, blood hand signs?
You've ruined everything about what your brand could be.
Something that he was wrongfully accused of doing.
He is with the Middlestaff firm. He does all sorts of criminal defense investigating.
See you on the street, you can mark my words, I'ma whoop your mother ass.
What the f? No, both of y'all screaming. Y'all, listen.
Leave me and my family the alone.
Did you care about my mother, son, ho?
Nigga, break this. What's wrong with y'all niggas? We outside. Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
Surviving the petties.